Thank you. It's great to be here. I've performed in front of a lot of people, but not so many beautiful women. This is like the 7th grade all over again. I'm very humbled to be here to talk and to present here at the Pennsylvania Conference for Women. Very, very humbled to be part of this conversation, to add to the contributions that you all give to society. But I also want to talk a little bit about the contributions of the children here in the city that they currently play and the contributions that they will play into the future. So I have some good news, I have some bad news, and I have some terrible news. So I'm going to start with the terrible news first. There are 234,000 children in the city. 143,000 of them will graduate from high school, but only 42,000 of them will graduate from college. 93,000 kids in the city live at or below the poverty line, and Philadelphia, unfortunately, is the poorest major city in the United States. The majority of the kids that fall under these categories, these 93,000 that I told you about, and the majority of the kids that we engage in our program come from the 1st Congressional District here, where half of the families have a hard time feeding their kids. Now, this congressional district, it consists of everywhere that's not around the Art Museum, Rittenhouse Square, and here in the Convention Center. We're talking about Northeast, North Philly, Southwest Philly, and West Philadelphia. Now, I've traveled all around the city, and I've learned that if you drive down Market Street long enough, if you drive up 5th Street long enough, you'll see some things that you thought never existed. I've traveled to Kenya, Venezuela, Argentina, Germany, Austria, China, Korea, all over the United States. And the thing that I learned about children and the worst things that they face is not about not having enough food on the table or having a sturdy roof overhead. The issue is that these kids feeling like the world has nothing to offer them and that they have nothing to offer the world. So today I want to briefly talk about the effects that this has on our society, and scientifically speaking, the stress that these kids face on a day-to-day basis prevents them from learning the important non-cognitive skills that they need, these high-level executive functioning skills that we all have in this room that has helped us to be productive citizens. Things like self-regulation, self-control, confidence, delaying gratification, resisting impulse, the ability to maintain temper. These are basic things that stop these kids from focusing in the classroom, keeps them from being a good neighbor, a good citizen. Now, we have put together a program to help teach these kids these important skills through music. We engage around 250 kids in 2 sites every day after school for 3 hours a day for the entire school year, and we also have a 6-week summer program where we engage the kids for 6 hours a day, Monday through Friday. They pick a standard orchestral instrument, and they are able to learn in group lessons, music literacy classes, and play in ensembles. We charge no tuition for the program. We have no assessment tests. If they want to learn how to play, we will teach them. It's our responsibility to teach them. Everyone is included. I don't care how bad they play or how well they play. They're all part of a team. And this is something that every single community in this city should look like. Now, let me quickly get to the bad news. The bad news is that the 250 kids that we have in the program, 6 of our kids are in danger of spending the rest of their life in prison before their 19th birthday. It will cost $2 million for each of those 6 kids to put them in prison for the rest of their life. How about the 102 kids in our program? Of the 250, 102 of them that will drop out of high school. 63 of those kids will spend at least 1 year in prison, and of those 63, 30 more of those kids will spend at least 2 years or longer in prison. That will cost approximately $35,000 a year. But the worst number is 141 of our kids that will end up on some type of permanent government subsidy in the form of housing vouchers, daycare vouchers, food stamps, medical needs. That will cost, on average, for these families around $43,000 a year for those 141 kids. Now let's multiply that by the 93,000 kids in the city that have problems every day they wake up and every day that they come home. How can we combat those issues. Very blessed to have some of the leading professional musicians in this town that work with these kids and mentor them every day. What Bach and Brahms and Beethoven mean to these kids is far more important. And the investment that we make in these kids is far better than what we will end up paying for these kids much later. So I like to think that we have 92,750 kids to go. And we're pretty eager about this one. So let's get to the good news. And the good news is in the form of these kids performing for you today. So these kids will perform some Romanian dances written by Bela Bartok and led by Naomi Gonzalez. So please help me to welcome the children to the stage.